welcome back to the YouTube channel where I just rant off the top, off the dome, no script. It's been a while. It's always been a while. I never make content regularly, but today we're back with top 10 trap albums. America's favorite genre probably at this point. Let's just start it off with a Whole Lotta Red. What's there not to love about Whole Lotta Red? At least some of it. Whole Lotta Red is messy. It's all over the place, but I think it has some of the highest highs of any trap album ever, and those highs are why it has the number 10 spot. It's not consistent at all. It's all over the place. You're going back and forth between like super hard rage tracks to like bubbly, like at meh type tracks. I think Whole Lotta Red is great, but it does have its flaws, but it's still a top 10 trap album of all time in my opinion. Number 9, I'm gonna go with Jeffrey by Young Thug. I was about to pause because I almost forgot, but Jeffrey by Young Thug. Young Thug is the trap GOAT in my opinion, and you're gonna see him a lot on this list. And Jeffrey is, contrary to many trap albums, is short and sweet. 10 tracks, all killer, no filler. I don't think it really has some of his best production or his best flows, but what it does have is a lot of fun, a lot of energy packed into those 10 tracks, and it's iconic for a reason. Number 8, we got Taboo by Denzel Curry. This is gonna start a 3-album run where you get some weird picks from me and picks that might not align with what you think trap is, but Rate Your Music calls Taboo trap, so I'm gonna call it trap too. I think this is the most smart album on this list just because it has like a concept. It goes through the concept. I love how it starts very like soft and I wouldn't say soft and sweet, but it's soft, but it's still talking about real things, and then progressively gets darker and darker, and at the end of the album you got really dark trap, really hard hitting. I think Denzel's very versatile on this record, as you see him have a more conscious style, but also towards the end of the record he's just amazing flows, killing it, just going so hard. I think it's his best album easily. Maybe not easily, but it's definitely his best album, and I just love the progression of it. I forgot to point out my favorite track, so I just edited this in. Favorite track from Whole Lotta Red, Off the Dome, probably Stop Breathing. Stop Breathing is just such a banger. From Jeffrey, Wyclef Jean, I think that's how you pronounce it. Just such a fun track, so replayable, and it's always fun every time. And then Taboo, I think my favorite track would probably be, man, off the top, I'm just gonna say Vengeance. I don't know if I really believe that, but off the top I'm saying Vengeance. The number 7 pick on this list is City Morgue Volume 2. This is an album that a lot of people don't like because it leans into a more emotional side of things, at least on some tracks, but it also has the very hard-hitting, unrelentless style that City Morgue is known for. But it blends 2 different styles of music and puts in an album. Some people don't like the second style of music, but I like it. Executively produced by Mike Dean. You got some really clean beats on here. I think it has one of the better intros in all of hip-hop, and that's Neck Brace. It's just such a banger. It's so fun to listen to, and I think Zilla Kami and Sos Mula put in their all on this album. This is probably their opus because I don't think they've really even got close to anything since this album dropped. It's not everybody's favorite. Trap metal is kind of a iffy genre for some people, but I think this is a very enjoyable album nonetheless. Number 7, number 6. I got an album that some people may not call trap, but I don't care. The Fool by Lid. The Fool is just so happy. I know the lyrics are kind of sad, but like the sound is just so clean, so pristine on your ears, and it's such a great summertime album. Front to back, it's basically just pure bliss. You got some of Blade's best writing, some of his most goofy writing, some of his sadder writing. You got a nice blend of everything from Blade. He's probably some of the best he's ever been vocally, and you got amazing, pristine production from Lucy, who has worked with Lil Uzi Vert before, if you did not know that. I think The Fool is one of probably like 2 or 3 albums that I would call trap from Blade. and I think it's the best out of those albums. I think it's better than Ice Dancer, and I think it's better than Working on Dying. Next up, we got another Young Thug classic, Barter 6. Also, the best song on The Fool. Man, I keep getting ahead of myself. Best song on The Fool, probably Let's Ride, or Ego Baby. It's Ego Baby. Okay, Barter 6. Whereas Jeffrey is more like, I guess, conventional trap album. Barter 6 is a year earlier, and it's much more cloudy. It's basically cloud rap, honestly. It's very atmospheric. Young Thug is still eccentric, goofy, really fun, amazing rapper, but this is definitely a more atmospheric project, and I think it's very influential for the cloud rap scene on a low-key level. Like, it's not like Young Lean or Black Cray or ASAP Rocky, any of those early influencers, but it did bring a new, I guess, southern twist to the cloud rap sound, and I think it also put Wheezy, who's one of the better trap producers out here, on the map. So Barter 6, certified classic, best song, Dome, easily. Dome is so fun. It just makes you sit back in your seat just while you're rapping along. It's so fun, and it's such a great atmospheric trap song. Next up, we got what many people consider to be the best trap album of all time, Rodeo by Travis Scott. Rodeo is pretty amazing. It tells a story front to back. It's amazing production. It's also very cloudy at some points and very southern. It's a very great southern hip hop album. I think Travis Scott is definitely at his best vocally. The thing about like Astroworld, I think he just kind of leans on one sound throughout the entire album. But on Rodeo, he is versatile. He has more vulnerable parts. He has his iconic, just chilled out, auto-tuned style, and he also has this very like aggressive rapping voice that he uses, which I wish he pulled out more often. And I think Rodeo it deserves all the hype it gets. I think it is a tad overrated, but it is a top 5 trap album nonetheless. And our number 3 spot, we got our third Young Thug album, and that's Slime Season 1, an album that I think a lot of people sleep on. Yes, it's kind of long. It's like 18 tracks long, but front to back, there's not a single miss. In 18 tracks, that's pretty impressive. I think Young Thug is really just killing it with his hook game. Just lots of great hooks. He's very, very infectious. He's just some of the hungriest you'll ever hear him. And he's always hungry, that's the thing. But Slime Season, he's extra hungry. And it has a lot of versatility too. Calling My Name sounds like a damn Charlie XCX track. And Best Friend, absolute classic. For best song, I don't know what I would do for the best song. I'm just gonna say No Way for right now. I just love how the flow on that song, and I love the piano. It's just amazing. Our number 2 pick, I got Monster by Future. Speaking of hungriness, this is easily the most hungry Future's ever sounded. Like, when you hear Tupac, he's just going off. It's crazy. I think Future, like, I still think he's a great rapper nowadays, but in this, like, 2014 era, he was way more hungry, and you could just hear it. And he's also way more emotional. He's showing himself and his scars a lot more on this album, and I think it's a great mix that makes sense why the album's called Monster. Hear me? It's like Frankenstein. Like, I don't know. I just think it's just a great emotional album. It's a great banger album. It just has everything trap should be. Amazing production, amazing vocals, and a lot of fun. And number 1, speaking of a lot of fun, we got so much. I'm just kidding. It's Die Lit by Playboi Carti. Best trap album of all time, easily. Pierre Bourne killed the production. He's produced probably like 95% of the tracks. I don't think he produced Shoota or Lean For Real or Long Time, but other than that, that's all Pierre. I think the production is really inventive yet super simple. It just leans on the basics to a point where it's just hard not to have fun with it. It doesn't do anything crazy experimental, but since it's like not experimenting a ton, sometimes that is the experimentation, like with Love Hurts, where it's literally just hi-hats, clap, I think, and just like a guitar strum. Sorry, my battery went out, so I don't know if it cut out or anything. So it's such a simple song, but it works. It just works. It's so intoxicating and fun. I don't know why it works so well, but it does. I think that's just the main consensus of this album. It's so listenable. You can listen to it at basically any time. It'll always boost in your mood or match your mood. It's just such a fun album. And I think Carti, he just knocks his minimalistic style out of the park with this. And it's very influential. Pierre became a hot name right after this album came out. Drake was working with him. Thug brought him on for So Much Fun. And I don't know, there's something so blissful, so perfect, so pristine, so clean. It's like The Fool, where every beat is just like, it's cleaning out your ears. I love it so much. I mean, I think that's the end of this video. Like, if I had to give an honorable mention, it would probably be Love Is Rage 2 by Uzi. And I'm sorry if this video was hard to watch. I'm just kind of rushing it and giving very vague, like, unhelpful statements about the albums. But that's my top 10. Hope you liked it.